They say that this is bee bread, and I can tell you that this is real bee bread because I smashed the honeycomb, but I bet you've never seen it like this. If you're new to bee bread, you may have seen some of these TikToks. You can get these on Alibaba. You can start your own brand. It's just agave syrup and dried fruit, and then they put in some dried pollen and dried bee bread, supposedly, and they say that it's the food of the gods. Well, technically, yes, pollen is a superfood, but our bodies don't digest it very well unless it is unfolded pollen or cracked cell wall pollen or in its fermented form. Why fermented? Because this bee bread that comes from the hive and then they render inert by drying it, not the best thing. The bees also are not able to digest pollen just like us because there's a cellulose coating around all of those nutrients in the pollen that the plants use to protect it. So the bees, in all of their natural wisdom, take it into the hive, they mix it with the enzymes in their saliva, the microbes in the hive, and they ferment it in order to access all of those nutrients in pollen. Now, I started using this a few years ago. As a former extreme athlete, I was always looking for some extra boost of energy that I could take with me on adventures. I used to run rivers all over the world, and this is smashed honeycomb that contains bee bread. It also has raw honey, so it's shelf-stable. This is a couple years old and it still tastes all right. The problem is when you chew this up, it has beeswax in it. So then you gotta spit it out and get rid of the beeswax. Not super enjoyable to consume, but I started realizing, wow, I could live on this stuff. I have so much energy, no crash. It's like totally different than getting all jittery and then crashing from drinking too much Red Bull or coffee. You don't get any of the bloating. It's the opposite that you get with like those energy gels or protein bars or something like that. And so I realized, wow, there's really something to this. And I started studying and realized that bee bread, there's a lot of research on it, and that it is really, truly a natural superfood. But the problem is, even though this is pure bee bread, this is going to be way better for you than dried pollen. I'll make another video on dried pollen later. But this will be better for you because it's gone through the bee's natural process of fermentation in the hive. But when they cook it, basically to make it shelf stable so they can sell it to you, they're rendering inert all of those wonderful enzymes and the goodness that the hive fermented process adds into fermented pollen as bee bread. So this is going to be a little bit better for you than something that's full of syrups and dried fruit, but it still is not as good as if you could get bee bread in its natural fermented form. Now, it's not shelf stable at all. It would be very, very prohibitively expensive to get it refrigerated, so nobody sells it that way. This is the first product in the world that maintains the fermentation from the hive and allows you to access all of those living probiotics, all of those enzymes, and all of the nutrients from pollen and bee bread. So it makes all of the wonders that they say pollen is the superfood, although they're selling dried stuff that's not digestible and it's inert because they've dehydrated it. But those nutrients really were there. Those essential amino acids really are in pollen, but you have to get it fermented. You have to maintain that fermentation. And this, folks, Beeghee is the only product out there that does that. It maintains the fermentation from the hive so that you're not getting dried, más o menos, bee bread, and you're not getting a bunch of stuff from China that has questionable syrups and fruits in it. And you don't have to do like I did for so many years and spit out the honeycomb. You can just enjoy the tangy, sweet, delicious taste in this creamy, sweet and sour spread. Hive fermentation at its best. This is the essence of the hive. This is the best of fermented pollen, bee bread, raw honey, propolis. Oh, it's so good. So this is like a month supply. I can go through one of these jars in like 3 days. I have to really discipline myself. You only need to take a spoonful a day and you're gonna feel a total difference. Incredible energy, no crash, and it's going to do really, really amazing things for your gut. I'm going to start making lots of videos about this, about the impact on the gut microbiome, gut brain connection, on your energy levels, on blood pressure, the things that the testimonials that are coming in. We can't say that it does these things for you, but we can read off a lot of testimonials, and the feedback is unbelievable. So skip the questionable stuff that you don't know what's in it. Don't bother wasting your money on things that are rendered inert and just get the stuff that's still completely bioavailable and it tastes unbelievable. Beeghee.energy. Find us on Amazon, social media. I'm going to have a whole lot more about bee bread, fermented pollen, fermented honey. There's so much good stuff out there. Hive fermentation is a world that you didn't know existed. And once you taste it, you won't understand how you were able to live without it. That's what we're hearing from customers. I don't ever want to live without this again. So try it out. I think you're probably going to feel the same way.